and more opportunities for any player, Debo, George Kittle, or Christian McCaffrey to get at least one touchdown, because that's all they needed was one touchdown to separate themselves from the Cowboys for the rest of the fourth quarter, and that's what they did. Niners wins 19-12 on to the NFC Championship. Brock Purdy is still undefeated this season. Well, still undefeated in his career. Still undefeated in his career. Going up against the winner of the Eagles and the Giants. And most likely they have a really, really good chance of beating any of those teams. Who are they going up against next Sunday? They're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. I knew that my Giants did not have the star power to beat the number one team in the NFC in a game in this caliber. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. I knew it. Saturday night game. Saturday night game, man. The game started out horrible. If you're a Giant fan, started out horrible. 4 touchdowns in the first half. 4 touchdowns in the first half. That's a whole game. That's a whole game in one half. 4 touchdowns in the first half. I don't want to hear nothing about Jalen Hurts' shoulder. I don't want to hear nothing that he might be too hurt to make big plays. All that was a damn lie. The man was magnificent. He didn't get 200 passing yards. He didn't need to get 200 passing yards. He's responsible for 2 touchdowns, and he did not turn over the ball. Not bad with a man who's supposed to have a hurt shoulder. Not bad, huh? Not bad for a man who's supposed to have a hurt shoulder. You want to know who that wasn't hurt on his body? His legs. He put up 9 carries for 34 yards. And scored a touchdown on the ground. Oh, God, man, it was upsetting. Upsetting, man. Did not like what I saw, man. Jalen Hurts got 2 touchdowns in the air, one on the ground, and so did a couple other running backs getting touchdowns on the ground. Not to mention, you still got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. AJ Brown did not have a great game, but guess what? He didn't need to have a great game because Devontae Smith was there to pick up the slack. He gets a touchdown with 61 yards. Dallas Goedert gets a touchdown with 58 yards. It was like practice for the championship game, basically. That's what it felt like. Practice for the championship game. You know, that's exactly what it felt like. Their defense got 5 sacks on Daniel Jones. You know, and what hurt me the most, James Bradbury gets an interception on Daniel Jones, the man that the Giants cut in the preseason to meet him in the offseason. They tried to say, well, he's a good player, but it's because of cap reasons and all that. Bradbury said, no, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe in me. The Giants trying to make it seem like, no, we believe in you. Then why did you get rid of him in the same division? Why? You had no fear that you're gonna meet this guy 2 times a year and possibly in the playoffs. And you better be in the playoffs. And I keep on hearing, oh, Daniel Jones only got 5 interceptions throughout the game. Giants fans know the reason why. The real Giants fans like myself know the reason why Daniel Jones got 5 interceptions in the whole season. Because Daniel Jones didn't throw the ball like that. We gave the ball to Za-Quan Barkley a lot of those times. We blame it that, because the receiving core is so poor, which it is, but it was also a big lack of trust that Daniel Jones could throw the ball so many times without making mistakes. In this particular game, down by 4 touchdowns in the first half, Daniel Jones have to throw the ball. We can't just give it to Saquon. We can't even pass it to Saquon. We have to trust the receivers. We gotta trust Daniel Jones is gonna make big plays to try to come back in this game because we gotta score 4 touchdowns in 30 minutes of football. And what happened by doing that? He gets his 6th interception of the year against a player that wore the giant blue in the preseason. You cut this man. You allow this man to sign in the division team. You gotta beat him twice a year, potentially playoffs. You had no fear of doing that. He said publicly the Giants did not believe in me, and and he got himself a revenge INT of why the Giants should have believed in him. Ah, man. The only bad thing that happened for the Eagles is that Jalen Hurts got a fumble. Who gives a rat's ass? My Giants got destroyed. Got destroyed, man. They got destroyed. Daniel Jones they couldn't do nothing. He threw the ball 27 times. That's probably way more times you want Daniel Jones to throw the football. Especially when you don't have a good receiving core. 135 passing yards, no touchdowns. Needless to say. No touchdowns. We got one touchdown in the game, on the ground by Matt Breeder or Breeder. That's about it. Saquon put up decent numbers with 61 rushing yards and his 21 receiving yards, but not enough. We had to rely on people like Richie James, not enough. Darius Slayton did not exist. Daniel Bullinga did not exist, and I said I was gonna get his first name, but the next episode, his name is Isaiah Hodgins. Isaiah Hodgins had kept the receiving core alive for the last few seasons. I mean, few weeks, and I said it on Friday's episode. He's not good. He's not good enough to come up big when the lights is bright. The man had 3 receiving yards in the whole damn game. 3. 3. Richie James had the most receiving yards for the Giants with 51 yards. And the same thing I say about Richie James is the same thing I say about CeeDee Lamb. If he's your best receiver, you're not going to win the game. Richie James can't even be your second best receiver. Can't even be your second best receiver. I will prefer a receiving core where you have a top guy as your best receiver, a Devontae Smith type of guy as your second best receiver, so Saquon Barkley getting 20 or 30 receiving yards, and then Richie James can be fourth. And the rest is just not non-existent. The defense didn't do nothing. 1 sack in the whole game. 1 sack. You got a quarterback with a bum shoulder. You're going to get him on the ground once. 1 sack, 1 fumble. Big deal. No interceptions. No big. Nobody did any type of big tackles or everything except for Jalen Smith. He had 14 tackles. Cool. Kayvon Thibodeau. I seen him influence the game a little bit. Even if he didn't get a solo tackle, I see him like influenced like a player from going his direction and everything. But still, not enough. Not enough. It wasn't enough. The defensive backs didn't do nothing. The safeties didn't do nothing. The quarterbacks didn't do nothing. It was an embarrassing game if you're a New York Giant fan. Easy game for the Eagles. Can the Eagles do the same thing to the Niners? I doubt it because of the Niners defense. I each for this moment on when I think of Brock Purdy, I'm looking at Brock Purdy like Brock. Just give us 100. Just give us 150 passing yards, and don't turn the ball over, and let the defense do his job. If the score, if the for the NFC Championship game for the Super Bowl, if the score is under 15 points, the Niners won. The Niners won. If the Niners let Jalen Hurts get off, or Patrick Mahomes, or well, I'll get to that in a little bit, but Patrick Mahomes or the winner of Bengals Bills, if you let them get off, you lose the game. But if the game is 15 points or less, the Niners won the game because that means you stopped the top quarterbacks in the league. Brock Purdy did not turn over the ball. You got yourself a Super Bowl ring. If you don't let these top quarterbacks go off, so top quarterbacks going off, that goes to the Bengals and Bills game. Bengals Bills game. My second wrong prediction of this postseason. But I'm not surprised. I am surprised of the score. Bengals beat the Bills 27-10. I'm surprised by that. I thought Josh Allen would have a much better game. Much better game. What I always say, Josh Allen threw the ball 42 times. A man who throw the ball 42 times and get an interception with no touchdowns sounds like a quarterback who should not be throwing the ball 42 times. The last time Josh Allen had a game like this, I said I'm not gonna say this about Josh Allen because he's Josh Allen. It was just a bad game. Now I'm gonna say this about Josh Allen because it's a big game. It's a game he was favored to win. Life is bright. And I'm looking at a big bright light game that includes Josh Allen, and he threw the ball 42 times, no touchdowns, with an interception. That to me sounds like a man who should not be throwing the ball 42 times. That's what that sounds like. Now he did put up a rushing touchdown. That's cool, but that's about it. That's the only touchdown in the game for the Buffalo Bills. A rushing touchdown by Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs was pissed off. Man, was he pissed. Was he pissed off? He was angry. He was angry. Like, new generation of Keyshawn Johnson, give me the damn ball. Angry. Could be a long off season. He might not take a phone call. Maybe after the Pro Bowl games, he might not take a phone call to about, I'll say, April. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. He was so angry. They like they didn't give enough targets. They targeted him 10 times, but he only got four receives. I don't know how you say. I guess I'll say four catches. Yeah, I guess that's how you say it, catches. He only got 4 catches. He only got 4 catches of 35 yards. He had one big play, but the rest was regular, a couple of yards here and there. The big plays went to Dawson Knox and Khalil Shakir. That's what the big plays went to. You know what I mean? Dawson Knox was really like basically Josh Allen favorite, and I don't see Dawson Knox as that tight end. Dawson Knox is not the tight end that should have the most receiving yards in the game or the most carries the most catches in the game. He's not Travis Kelce. You got Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs should have the most carries in the game. Big plays. 20-yard pass to Stephon Diggs. That's what that should be. Especially if you're down. Especially if you're down by 17 points. Like, I don't know. To me, that's a big common sense. But I mean, I don't know.